Welcome back to the deep dive. Today, we're not just watching a television episode, we are witnessing an excavation.
Oh, absolutely.
We're strapping in to look at the beginning of the end for what is, arguably, the most culturally significant drama of the last 20 years.
Yeah.
We are talking about Breaking Bad, and specifically, we are dissecting the Season 5 premiere, the episode titled Live Free or Die.
It is a massive episode. This is the pivot point. It is the moment the show shifts its entire gravitational pull, really.
Yeah.
We've spent 4 years watching Walter White try to survive the chaos of the drug trade. Specifically, surviving the looming threat of Gus Fring.
The Chicken Man.
Right, exactly. And now we are entering a totally new era. The student has killed the master.
Big King is dead, long live the king.
Precisely. And our mission today for you, the listener, is to unpack exactly how this single episode sets up the final tragedy of the series. We are moving from the Gus Fring era straight into the Walter White empire.
And we have a stack of notes here that are they're fascinating. We're going to cover the plot mechanics, which include one of the craziest heists in the show's history.
The magnet.
The giant magnet, yes. But we also have deep dives into the production drama. Because, this season almost didn't happen the way we know it.
I saw that in the notes. There were some really serious boardroom battles behind the scenes regarding the episode count and the budget.
We will definitely get to that. We also have the critical reception from the time, which really helps contextualize just how big this was when it aired back in 2012.
But before we get into the magnets and the machine guns and the boardroom politics, we really have to start with the title itself, Live Free or Die.
It's punchy.
Yeah.
It sounds like an action movie tagline.
It does, but it's actually very specific geography.
Yeah.
Live Free or Die is the official state motto of New Hampshire.
Oh, right.
And that isn't just a cool-sounding phrase. It thematically frames the struggle of this entire final season. It is the choice Walt is ultimately left with. And the show doesn't wait to hit you with it. It's right there in the opening sequence.
So let's get into it. Section 1, the flash forward. Because we hit play on the Season 5 premiere, and we aren't in the meth lab. We aren't at the White House in Albuquerque.
No.
We are in a Denny's.
A Denny's. And the atmosphere is all wrong immediately.
It feels totally off. It's quiet. It's drab.
The source material points out the date specifically. We see Walt arranging his bacon into the number 52.
Which is a huge signal for the audience. The show started on his 50th birthday. Seasons 1 through 4 happened over the course of one extremely intense year.
Right.
So now, suddenly, we are jump-cutting another full year into the future.
Exactly. We are looking at a man who has lived another year of this crazy life. But look at him. The notes describe him as disheveled. He has a full head of hair, which is shocking after years of the bald Heisenberg look.
Yeah, the hair changes everything.
He has a thick, unkempt beard, giant nerdy glasses. He doesn't look like the Heisenberg who just defeated Gus Fring. He looks like a man on the run.
And he's celebrating alone. That is the part that got me. No Skyler, no Jesse, no Junior. Just a waitress and a plate of bacon.
That isolation is key. And he's using a fake name. The waitress asks for his ID for the free birthday meal, and he produces a New Hampshire driver's license.
There is the New Hampshire connection.
Right there. And later in this sequence, we see a vehicle with New Hampshire plates. And right there on the metal, stamped into the license plate, is Live Free or Die.
Wow.
It implies he's been hiding out there. He has escaped Albuquerque. He is free in the literal sense. But looking at him, coughing, taking pills in the bathroom, constantly looking over his shoulder, you have to ask yourself, is he really free?
He's back in town for business, though. He isn't just there for the Grand Slam breakfast. He goes out to the parking lot and meets a guy.
He meets Lawson, played by the incredible character actor Jim Beaver.
I love Jim Beaver. He brings such a gravitas to everything he's in.
He's great. And this meeting is an illegal arms deal. But Walt isn't buying a snub-nosed revolver for protection. He isn't buying a pistol to put under his pillow.
He pops the trunk of the car.
And inside is an M60 machine gun.
A literal weapon of war.
This is a massive escalation in the hardware of the show. The notes emphasize this heavily. An M60 isn't for a robbery. It isn't for a hit on one guy. It is for a war. It is for mowing down an army.
It raises so many questions for you as the viewer. Who is he fighting? Why does he need that much firepower? Is he planning to storm a fortress?
The analysis in our documents points out that this is a classic flash-forward narrative device. It foreshadows the final episode, Felina, and it creates a burning mystery. We just saw Walt win at the end of Season 4. He is the conqueror. He blew up his enemy.
Yeah.
So how do we get from I-1 to this broken, lonely man in a Denny's buying a machine gun to fight a war we don't understand yet?
It completely changes how you watch the rest of the episode. Because no matter how arrogant Walt gets in the present timeline, and oh boy does he get arrogant, we know this is where he ends up. It hangs over the episode like a dark cloud.
It's the sword of Damocles. You know the tragedy's coming, you just don't know the route yet. The writers are showing us the destination to color the journey.
So let's snap back to the present. The flash forward ends, the title card hits, and we are back in the immediate aftermath of the Season 4 finale. Section 2, cleanup on aisle 4.
Right. The Gus Fring is dead timeline. Walt returns home. And this is where the domestic horror really sets in. You would think, logically, the threat is gone. Gus is gone. They should be popping champagne. Or at least breathing a sigh of relief.
But Skyler isn't popping anything.
No. Skyler White is terrified.
Yeah.
The notes describe her reaction vividly. Walt comes in, maybe expecting a hero's welcome or at least relief that they survived, but she is paralyzed.
There is that scene in the bedroom. He tries to talk to her, just a normal conversation, and she barely responds.
She explicitly tells him, I am scared of you. Not scared for you, scared of you.
That preposition shift is everything.
It is the thesis statement of her character arc for this season. She realizes that the monster wasn't Gus Fring. The monster is sleeping in her bed. She knows he killed Gus. She suspects he's behind the bomb at the nursing home. She knows he is capable of mass violence.
But Walt is too busy to process her feelings. He brushes it off because he has a sudden, oh God, moment.
The loose end. The realization hits him like a freight train. The super lab.
The lab he just burned down with Jesse.
Yes. But you remember something crucial about Gus Fring. Gus was control freak. Gus watched everything.
The cameras.
There were surveillance cameras in the lab. And while the lab burned, the footage wasn't stored in the lab. It was sent remotely.
To a laptop.
A laptop that was in Gus Fring's office.
And where is that laptop now?
Well, the police are swarming everything connected to Gus. The notes tell us the laptop has been seized as evidence. It's sitting inside the Albuquerque Police Department evidence locker.
This is a disaster. If the police decrypt that hard drive, they have high-definition video of Walter White and Jesse Pinkman cooking meth for months.
It's game over. Instant life sentence.
Okay.
Maybe the death penalty, depending on what else they find on there. There is no lawyer in the world who can talk you out of video evidence of you manufacturing Schedule I narcotics.
So they need to get it back or destroy it, which brings us to Section 3, the magnet caper. But they can't do it alone. They need the third leg of the tripod. They need Mike.
Mike Ehrmantraut, the cleanup guy, the professional.
But Mike isn't exactly happy to see them.
That's an understatement. Remember, Mike was shot in Mexico during the Salute episode. He has been recovering. He drives back to New Mexico, hears Gus is dead, and he knows exactly who did it.
He finds Walt and Jesse in the desert, and he puts a gun to Walt's head.
He is ready to execute Walt right there. In Mike's eyes, Walt is a chaotic amateur who just blew up the best job they ever had. Mike liked the order of Gus's operation. It was safe, it was profitable. Walt is entropy. Walt is chaos.
You are a time bomb. Tick, tick, tick.
Exactly. But Jesse steps in between them. And they manage to convince Mike that they have a mutual problem.
The laptop?
If Walt goes down, Mike is on that camera too. Mike's guys are on that camera. Everyone falls.
So they form this uneasy alliance, and they start brainstorming. I love this scene because it shows the different worldviews. Mike, the seasoned criminal, says, we leave. We skip town.
Mike knows when the heat is too hot. He's pragmatic. Live to fight another day, disappear, get new identities.
But Walt refuses. He just won the crown. He is not going to abdicate and live in a hole.
Walt's ego is driving the bus now. He demands a solution that lets him stay. And they go back and forth. Walt suggests bombing the police station or raiding it like a commando. Mike shoots all of these down as suicidal.
Until Jesse Pinkman, the guy they always underestimate, looks at the problem differently.
Magnet.
Magnets. The idea is brilliant in its simplicity. Why try to steal the physical object? The object doesn't matter. The data matters.
If you can wipe the hard drive, the laptop is just a paperweight.
So they go to the junkyard. They meet old Joe.
Old Joe is such a great minor character. He's this legally savvy junkyard owner who knows way too much about Fourth Amendment rights and electromagnets.
They acquire an industrial electromagnet. This isn't a fridge magnet. This is used for lifting cars into shredders. It requires massive amounts of power.
And the plan is audacious. They're going to put this thing in a box truck, drive it right up against the wall of the police evidence locker, which they have located on the blueprints, and turn it on.
They test it at the junkyard first, and the visual of the laptop flying across the room and smashing into the truck wall, it sells the power of this thing.
It creates a sense of believable physics, even if it is a bit heightened. You see the sheer force involved.
So they do it. Nighttime. Outside the police station. Mike is driving the getaway car. Walt is at the controls. Jesse is in the truck.
The tension is incredible. They crank the dial. And inside the evidence room, we see the chaos.
It's almost like a poltergeist. The metal shelves start bending, guns fly off the racks and stick to the wall.
And the laptop. We see it in the evidence bag. It slides across the shelf and slams into the wall. The hard drive is being scrambled. It's working.
But Walt gets greedy. He cranks it to the max.
He pushes it too far. The truck tips over onto the wall because the magnet is pulling it. The batteries short out. The noise is deafening.
They have to bail. And because the truck tipped, they can't drive it away.
I have to leave the truck behind. They pile into the getaway car with Mike and speed off just as the cops come running out.
It is a success, technically. The laptop is destroyed. But this leads to the aftermath conversation, which I think is crucial for the character dynamics.
It is. They're driving away. Adrenaline is pumping. Jesse is ecstatic. But Mike is looking in the rearview mirror.
Mike says, I don't think we're out of the woods. He is thinking about the truck. He is thinking about the serial numbers, the trail. He knows police work.
And Walt turns to him, and this is the new Walt. He doesn't offer reassurance. He offers arrogance. He says, because I said so.
He believes he can dictate reality.
The notes highlight this as hubris. He thinks because he beat Gus, he can beat physics, he can beat the police, he can beat logic. He is high on his own supply of power. He dismisses the professional's concern because he feels invincible.
And that hubris is terrifying because we know about the flash forward. We know this confidence is a bubble that is going to burst.
But for now, the laptop is dead. However, that wasn't the only loose end from Season 4. We have to talk about Section 4, the human loose ends.
Ted Beneke.
The Ted situation. This is dark comedy that turns into just straight horror.
So, refresh the listeners. Skyler gave Ted money to pay the IRS so her own tax fraud wouldn't be exposed. Ted refused to pay the IRS. Skyler sent Saul's goons, Huel and Kubi, to convince him. Ted tried to run, tripped on a rug, and smashed his head.
We all thought he was dead. Or paralyzed. The last we saw of him, he was twitching on the floor.
But Saul Goodman approaches Skyler at the car wash and drops the bomb. Ted is alive.
Skyler has to go to the hospital to see him. And the visual reveal of Ted Beneke here it's haunting.
He's in that halo brace.
Bolts screwed directly into his skull to keep his neck straight. His head is shaved. He looks broken. Physically, he is a wreck.
And Skyler expects him to be angry. She expects him to scream, "You did this to me."
Instead, he cowers. He's utterly terrified of her. He promises he won't say a word. I won't tell the IRS. I won't tell the police. He thinks she is the godfather.
It's tragic, really. Skyler is just a suburban mom who made bad choices, but in Ted's eyes, she is a monster who sends hitmen to break necks.
And Skyler realizes she is trapped in that role now. She doesn't correct him. She just says, good. She accepts the mask of the villain because it is the only thing that keeps them safe.
It's a parallel to Walt. Walt chooses to be the villain. Skyler is forced into it.
That is a great distinction.
Meanwhile, Walt is cleaning up his own loose ends with Saul. And we finally get the answer to the biggest mystery of the Season 4 finale, the ricin cigarette.
This was the question on every fan's mind during the break between seasons. Jesse had a cigarette with ricin in it, intended for Gus. It went missing. Jesse thought he lost it, or that Gus took it. He saw Gus poison Brock with it.
Which was the catalyst for Jesse helping Walt kill Gus.
Right. But here, in Saul's office, the truth comes out. Saul is furious. He reveals that he had Huel pickpocket the cigarette off Jesse.
So Walt ordered it.
Walt orchestrated the whole thing. He needed the cigarette gone so Jesse would panic. He needed Jesse to believe Gus was killing kids so that Jesse would agree to kill Gus.
It's 4D chess, but it is incredibly evil. He used a child as a pawn. He manipulated his partner's worst fears.
And even Saul Goodman, who has a very flexible moral compass, is disgusted. The notes describe Saul trying to fire Walt as a client. He pulls out the cigarette, which is in a plastic bag, and says, "I'm done. I didn't know you were going to poison a kid."
Saul has a line. Who knew?
Apparently, poisoning children is the line. But you don't fire Walter White. Not anymore.
This is the scene, the power shift. Saul tries to leave. Walt steps into his space. He backs him up against the desk.
And he delivers the line. "We're done when I say we're done."
Chills. Every time.
The notes highlight this as the definitive transition. Before this, Walt manipulated people by playing the victim or by using logic. Now, he uses pure intimidation. He is acting like Gus Fring. He owns Saul now.
It really cements the idea of the Walter White Empire. He is conscripting soldiers.
Exactly. He is not a partner. He is a commander.
Now, I want to take a breather from the plot for a second and look at Section 5, the production context. Because reading these notes, it seems like Season 5 was almost a disaster before it even started.
It was a very rocky road. We assume Breaking Bad was always this juggernaut. But back in 2011, during the negotiations for this season, things got ugly.
The notes mention AMC wanted to cut costs.
AMC proposed a shortened 5th season. They wanted to wrap up the entire series in 6 to 8 episodes.
6 to 8 episodes? That is insane. We just spent all this time talking about one episode. Imagine trying to cram the ending of the whole show into 6 hours.
It would have been a creative disaster, a rushed ending that would have ruined the legacy. But Sony Pictures Television, who produces the show, played hardball. They essentially said, "Fine, if you won't pay for a full season, we will take the show to another network."
Can you imagine Breaking Bad airing on FX or HBO for the final season?
It was a real possibility. They shopped it around. And that threat worked. AMC blinked. In August 2011, they agreed to the 16-episode order that we got.
Thank goodness.
But they split it into 2 parts, airing a year apart, which is a compromise. But it gave the writers breathing room.
There was also that drama with Dish Network, right?
Oh, right. In July 2012, right when this premiere was dropping, Dish Network dropped AMC due to a contract dispute.
So millions of people couldn't watch the premiere on their TVs.
It was a crisis. AMC actually streamed this episode, Live Free or Die, online for Dish customers. They knew they couldn't alienate the fan base at this critical moment.
That is smart. And a little piece of trivia from the notes, this episode is short.
It is the shortest episode of the entire series, about 43 minutes.
It feels longer because it is so dense, but there is no fat on it. It moves like a freight train.
Vince Gilligan wrote it, and Michael Slovis directed it. They kept it tight. They knew they had a lot of ground to cover to set up the new status quo.
Let's look at Section 6, reception. Did people realize what they were watching?
Oh, absolutely. The hype was off the charts. The viewership was a record for the show at that time, almost 3 million live viewers.
Which, for a dark cable drama in 2012, is huge.
And the critics were on board. Brent Cupp from Pace magazine gave it a 9.4. He called it suspenseful and humorous, but noted that lingering sense of doom.
That doom is the secret ingredient.
Donna Bowman at the AV Club gave it an A-. And even looking back, The Ringer ranked it as the 23rd best episode out of all 62. It is a very strong opener.
It does everything a premiere needs to do. It resolves the cliffhanger with the laptop, sets up the new threat with the police and Mike, and establishes the new character dynamics.
And it ends on a character beat that is just devastating.
The hug.
We have to talk about the ending. Walt comes home. Skyler is there smoking cigarettes in the dark, terrified.
And Walt approaches her. She flinches.
And he hugs her. He holds her tight. And he whispers, "I forgive you."
He forgives her for giving the money to Ted.
Think about the psychological warfare in that statement.
Mm-hmm.
She is scared he might kill her. She wants him out of the house. And instead of yelling, instead of hitting, he acts like the benevolent saint. "I forgive you."
It negates her feelings. It says, "We are fine. I am in control. You are the one who made a mistake, not me."
It traps her. If he were screaming, she could scream back. But how do you fight forgiveness? It normalizes the insanity of their life.
Yeah.
It's the ultimate gaslight.
It connects back to the king idea. A king grants pardons.
Exactly. He's benevolent to his subjects as long as they know he is the king.
So we have gone from the flash forward of a broken man through the adrenaline of the magnets to the chilling confidence of the final scene.
It leaves us with a massive question to chew on.
What is that question?
The episode starts with "Live Free or Die" on a license plate for a man who has lost everything. But it ends with Walt feeling invincible. The question is, does the flash forward prove that winning in Walter White's world is actually just the first step toward losing?
Is every victory just digging the hole deeper?
He thinks he's building an empire. But we know he is building that lonely birthday at Denny's.
That is the tragedy of Season 5, and we are going to be here to break it down every single detail in our future discussions. This has been the deep dive on Live Free or Die.
Thanks for listening.
We will see you next time.